Well, good evening. Hope you're having a wonderful 4th of July. Welcome to KDC Church Global, home of Relationship Reset.
Yes.
I'm Dr. J. Calvin Tibbs, along with my lovely wife, Minister Kimberly Tibbs.
Hello.
Our goal here is to help you reset your relationship, whether you are a Generation Z individual or if you're all the way over into the silent generation. Our goal is to give you a message from the kingdom, a message of the kingdom to transform your life in such a way that it really doesn't matter whether it's you, your community, or the world. Real change is transacted. And I tell you, some of that real change that took place over 200 years ago in America, Declaration of Independence.
Independence Day.
Yes. So happy Independence Day.
Happy 4th of July.
Yes. And, we started to think about a 4th of July message, but we thought better of it because we rather, first of all, say Happy Independence Day to you because you're a part of the nation. We are a part of this nation, arguably the greatest nation on the earth, if for no other reason because you live here. And therefore, you make it better because you are here.
Yeah.
And we got a chance to watch Hamilton yesterday for the first time, which was absolutely incredible. And when you consider that Hamilton is like Alexander Hamilton, all the details and the way they brought hip hop into the Declaration of Independence and that whole process, it was flat out incredible.
It's very, very amazing.
Yeah.
The
singing, the Hispanic brother who apparently wrote a lot of the music. It was great. What it did for us is it took us back in history to pick up some items that we didn't know about. I didn't know that he died in a duel, for example, or shortly thereafter. But more than that, it's messy when you're trying to change.
Yes.
And I remember the King Louis the Third.
King George III.
King George III. Thank you very much. Fact checker here. That when it came down to him sort of saying, y'all are on your own. You were better off being ruled by the King of England. But these cats said, no, we want, here you go now, religious freedom. We want to worship God without the government telling us how to do it, which is exactly what was happening with the Church of England. So religious freedoms are real in America. I know we may not say it's a religious country or a country founded on God for those who don't want to make that claim. But the fact of the matter is they came here for that very reason, goodness. So when you consider that reality, God is up to something that actually does have to do with worship. So we're going to talk today about the differences between men and women, husbands and wives. And we're also going to talk about what we call equal and different. And we're on our third section here, which is going to focus upon the women's component of reflectors and the men's component as protectors. But we're going to come from a little bit of a different angle, if you will. So we highly encourage you to focus. Now, before we dive any deeper, let's lock down on what we're trying to get done, starting with the women's component of this, and then we're going to put the men in here and we'll flow together that way. And that's how we're going to go today. Okay.
All right. Well, I love talking about relationships. We have all kinds of relationships, husband and wives, mothers to daughters, co-workers, people in the church, relationships everywhere. We cannot avoid them. We are not an island. And so we interact. So our relationships need to be healthy. As it relates to women, we're talking about the equal but different. This segment for women, we're going to talk about women being life givers.
Okay.
Life givers. I don't know what science is out there doing, but there's probably somewhere down in a basement trying to make men life givers. And it's not going to happen.
Right.
And the reason why it's not going to happen is because it's not the creator, God Almighty, sovereign in all his ways, his design. His design was for women, or is for women, to be life givers. So when you look at the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 20, you talk about the woman being named a mother of all. Eve was called Eve because she's the mother of all of us. Well, if all of us believe that, wouldn't that maybe get rid of some of the racial tension? Because we all come from the same mother, Mother Eve. I didn't come from no monkey, you didn't either. So we all came from Mother Eve. So we're all related.
Exactly. We really
are. We
are.
need that like it. But anyway,
Yeah,
it's a
do.
whole nother program.
That's right.
So in the Hebrew, that word means life giver. Life giver. Now, The woman's role as life giver was part of God's original plan. We've said that before on the program, or his original design. He knew that woman would be the one who would carry the womb, and would receive the seed of the man, and meshed or brought together with the egg and become a human being. I mean, that right there, when you break that down, is just absolutely incredible to me.
Yeah.
So God gave females a huge, powerful responsibility. And a lot of women don't realize that, oh, she had a baby, they had a baby, he had a baby. But it really is an amazing task and powerful responsibility God gave women.
Yes. And because of that, you look at the intelligent design of this whole piece.
Yes.
And the connecting parts of this, in terms of men and women, the woman had to come here, the woman had to come here and be sort of the second part, but equal part. Again, separate and equal, because at the end of the day, the reality when it comes down to why this must work is because men carry seed. Without the seed, there is no procreation of life. But without the womb, there is no movement in life. So there's a needful connection between both husbands and wives, both men and women, in the context of marriage.
Yes.
And you put that reality together, and you're talking about something pretty darn special at the end of the day. And that's what we're trying to connect with. Men, and I want to give this one quick note because we got a lot to cover today. Men, I'm talking about husbands now. Husbands, and I'm talking about Miles Monroe's material, and he's right, must have intimacy, not want to. It's a must have. Why? Because husbands carry seed. Now, whether it's going to produce a child or not is not the point. There's a pleasure factor in that as well. But because the man has seed, the seed must leave.
And hold that thought. That's very good. I just got a text. We're not. This is not a pre-recorded show or program, so it is what it is. I just got a text that we are not live. That we are on, but there's no one. They can't see us.
They can't see us.
So
okay.
It is,
so we're gonna try to work that out.
Live and raw.